Whew, all right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Quack the Clutter Podcast. So this morning, we're on the road. I'm doing this from my car, so I just asked for a little bit of grace. But I'm bringing today's podcast to you, my little hanging duckins. So today's episode of Quack the Clutter Podcast is decluttering, fear, and overwhelm. This is such a good one because this is such a great topic because when we talk about decluttering, when we talk about going through items, and it's usually to the point where things are so overwhelming. We are at a loss, there's too much stuff, we don't know where to start, but we're also acknowledging that there's fear in letting things go. What if I'm going to need it again? What if it was something that someone loved gave to me? There's so many things that go into this. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So welcome to today's episode of Quack the Clutter Podcast. Welcome to the podcast where we help healthcare hearts find peace at home, one cozy corner at a time. I'm your host, Christine DeGennaro, decluttering coach and founder of the COOP Method, where compassion meets clear spaces. Each week, we'll waddle through the mess together, from overflowing schedules to those corners of the clutter that steal your peace. We're going to create simple, soulful action steps to reclaim your calm. This isn't about perfection. This is about progress with laughter and heart and a whole lot of grace. Grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's get cozy inside and out. So today we're going to talk about why clutter feels scary. We're going to talk about how to release emotional clutter. And we're going to talk about the COOP steps that will walk you through letting things go in a way that works for you and your space. That's the whole crux of everything. It's you and your space. All right, so why is clutter so scary? There's a whole bunch of different reasons, so we're just going to dive right on into this. It represents your failures and your shortcomings. It shows that you are unable to contain the mess. It shows that you are unable to be a housekeeper. It shows that you are unable to stay on top of all the things that you feel you should be doing. All right? So it's almost like a laugh in your face. Like, you look around the kitchen and you haven't done the dishes in like 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, maybe longer, depending on what your shifts are, what your work schedule's like, what your home is like, how many people you have living there. It reminds you every time you look at it that you're not on top of it. And that feels like utmost failure. And I'm just going to let you know it's okay. Bear with me. All right. It represents change. That means that you have to adjust something within yourself to make things happen around the house. Because at some point you got into a pattern of letting things go longer than you should have. And that's okay. That's okay. It represents loss, lack, and letting go. So it represents that there is a whole mountain of things that you have, and you're going to have to let some of those things go to clear it out. Whether it's items from a loved one, whether it's something that you thought you were going to need and now you're afraid to let it go because what if you need it? It also represents a lot of decision. Your clutter.
This is placeholder media that you'll see if you add a layout to an empty scene. You can go ahead and delete it.
Or the willpower to make. Clutter, what's the saying clutter is delayed decisions. You're putting off making a decision about this item, where it goes, where it belongs, whether it needs to stay or go. You are delaying that decision making. All right. It also screams, I'm not enough. Have you ever just looked around your house and said, like, there's just not enough of me to go around? I am living in a house that I'm embarrassed of. I'm embarrassed to show it in the background. I'm embarrassed to have people come over. I can't, because it's just, I am not enough to keep up with my home. All of this is heavy. And I just want to remind you that you're bringing this to work with you. Everything that you're doing at home, you're bringing to work with you, that heaviness and that sense of failure and that fear of change. And I just want you to imagine for just a brief moment what that would feel like if you were able to release that. There are so many different ways that we can go and approach it. Each one is going to be unique to you. So if this is something that you want to talk about one-on-one, because not only do I do the decluttering for the space, but the decluttering for the soul too. So we can definitely talk about that if you guys want. All right. But I'm going to give you guys a quick tip. You need to start small. The smaller, the better. So just start with one piece of trash. Start with one item to donate. Just start super small and acknowledge how it feels. You take a jacket that you haven't worn in 10 years because maybe it doesn't fit you anymore. But you haven't wanted to let it go because what if you end up losing the weight again? Or maybe you lost weight and maybe it's too big. Donate it and make room for something new and beautiful to come into your home. Just one item. I challenge you today, one item. All right. So if today's episode has you ready to take some action, I would love to have you guys download the free COOP Method workbook that we have. So all it is a free workbook where it walks you step by step through the COOP Method, the 4-step method that I developed to help you declutter your space. Hit the link below, sign up for it. I'll send it to your inbox and you can get started on learning the COOP Method. That changed everything in how I approach decluttering, and it's helped clients all over the world too. All right. So again, when it comes to clutter, you're holding on to all these emotions and you're finding yourself weighed down underneath, again, the guilt and the shame and the not enoughness. So I want you to understand that now is the time to release it. We're getting ready to go into the fall. The trees are starting to shed all their leaves. It's time for you to shed some of your leaves too. Okay? So I want to acknowledge how heavy that feels. It feels heavy that you know what you should do. You just don't have the motivation or the capability of doing it right now. You know what you should. So you're carrying that guilt, you're carrying that shame, you're carrying that overwhelm. And again, that's translating over into your confidence and your ability to do your job, to maintain your space at work, to maintain your emotional attachments and detachment at work. Like, you are becoming an utter hot, sweaty mess because you are trying to do all the things and none of it's working, right? You might be really, really, really good at your job, but you come home and you feel like a failure. That is not okay. I don't want that for you. All right? And I know you don't want that for you, most importantly. All right? So I want you to acknowledge that clutter is delayed decisions. Plain and simple. You made a decision at some point. You were going to do it later. So here's the deal. We're going to have to start transitioning you into a do it now mindset. All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to find one sentimental item that you are okay with letting go. So one of my favorite tips on trying to make that happen, especially for sentimental items, take a picture of it, write down the story of this item, who it came from, who it belonged to, where you got it from, its whole entire story. And that way you have a keepsake memento of this item, but now it can go and live on in a new home and have a new life of its own. Okay? So now we're going to take that action tip that I gave you earlier. You're going to donate one item. I want you to pause this video. I want you to go pick out the item. I want you to acknowledge that you're going to donate it. And even if you have to come back or watch this video on the way to go drop it off to donate it, I want you to donate the one item. And then I want you to comment below what item you're donating. Okay? Accountability is 95% of this work is you're getting all this knowledge, but if you're not doing anything about it, that needs to change. That's where I've gotten hung up too. So I'm not making any judgments. I'm here to hold you accountable and help you through it, okay? Now, I want you to understand that
you'll see if you add a layout to an empty scene. You can go ahead and delete it.
Working through your home, the way to declutter is the first step of the COOP method, which is clear. All right. So what we're going to have to do is let me introduce you to the first step of the COOP method process. So the first step is clear. And not only is it clearing the space, but it's also creating a clear vision of what you want the space to look like. All right. So you can't put things away in a cluttered space. So your challenge is to make sure that you're emptying out the space that you're going to organize. You're going to take it all out. You want to see what you have. You want to be clear on what you have. We need to do the same thing with the emotional clutter. We need to understand what emotions are hanging out. Is it fear? Is it overwhelm? Is it shame? Is it frustration? Is it guilt? Is it loss? So many things tie into all of this emotional clutter that you're holding on to. All right. Now, it's also time to make room for things that are better by letting go of the heavy emotions, of letting go of items that are no longer serving you. You are allowing the universe to say, hey, oh, you made room for new stuff. Let's do it. You're giving universe an opportunity, God, universe, source energy, however you want to call your higher power. You're giving them the opportunity to call in more beautiful things that you deserve. All right. So I want you to take a moment and just clear your mind. Clear your mind. Let things go just for a second. I know with today, with the technology, with everything, it's hard to find silence in your brain. I want you to try to do that just for 1 minute. Just clear as much as you can for 1 minute. And then when you do that, I want you to be intentional about what you bring back in. Are you bringing in love? Are you bringing in grace? Are you bringing in peace and the I can do this? That's what I want you to focus on. All right? I want you to imagine your brain as a drawer. And I want you to wipe it all down, get it all nice, clean, and clear. And then I want you to journal what you're putting back in the drawer in your brain. Okay? So clearing the space, that's all one step of the COOP method. COOP method is 4 steps: clear, organize, optimize, put away. 4 simple steps, life-changing, helps alter every room, big or small. A huge project for 5 days worth or 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. It can be used in any way, shape, or form, in any space, any home, anytime. It is, again, one of the most invaluable things that I think I've ever created because it helps me personally. All right, so today we talked about why clutter is scary, how to release emotional overwhelm, and how to step into the COOP method and how it applies to your emotional clutter too. So today I want you to just take a moment, do the one thing, donate one item if you need to, if you feel like it's a very sentimental thing and you want to hold on to it. Take a photograph, write the story, share it with us. If you do that, share that with us. Make sure you tell us what item you are donating. Go and do it. Celebrate dropping off. I want a picture of you dropping it off. Okay? Because this is where it starts. This is how you begin building the do it now muscle. And that's where things need to change. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Quack the Clutter Podcast in my car. It's been fun. It's been enlightening. But let's see. Next week, we're going to be talking about gratitude and gathering, decluttering for connection. I'm excited about that one. It's going to be a great topic. All right, guys. Go and have an amazing, wonderful day. Go and live today.